Welcome back to a Fresh Perspective on Business podcast. I am Laura Leyland. For those of you who've wondered where I've gone or why I've not been on the podcast, I am here in your ears today with my co-host, Tony Greenwood.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon and good evening.
We have to wave to all of our fans on YouTube.
All our fans.
All 300 and something of them.
Fans, not followers or subscribers.
Fans. Raging fans.
Well, a passion for fresh.
Our business coach told me not only to read this book about customer service called Raving Fans,
right?
But we always accidentally called it Raging Fans.
Raging fans. Raving and raging fans on YouTube and audio, welcome. It's lovely, isn't it? Whether
you're watching or listening or both.
You are, thank you, basically. We are grateful. Laura, what's the podcast out about today, please?
It's all about our charity business awards, the Freshies.
Yes.
We held, today is the 26th of July. It's just over a month since we delivered our fourth inaugural annual event.
Yeah.
And we wanted to talk about it. It's also about feedback.
It is about feedback in life, in personal and in business spheres.
We got a bit of feedback on the Freshies, so I thought, we'll tie it in because feedback is important. Jack Cranfield knows this, and I will explain this later on.
Don't know who Jack Cranfield is. Is he from Chorley?
Episode, but no, I don't think so.
No.
But we also wanted to shine a light on our amazing sponsors and judges for the Freshies, because without them, we wouldn't be able to put them on. We would have no one to interview the finalists, and we would make no money for charity.
No, and it would just be basically the Freshies in a cathedral having a really expensive party, wouldn't it?
Yes.
And it would cost a lot of cash.
And no one would be interested in the awards because they'd all say it was a fix because we would have to judge them.
And win them.
We'd be the winners of all of the awards.
It'd be well good. The podcast today, the name of the podcast has been named by Laura, and it's The Winner Takes It All. And she wants to sing this with gusto and passion, and I'm going to let her, and I'm going to try and be some kind of effective backup singer, but it's going to be tough, but we're going to have a go.
I like to caveat this with the fact that I've never, ever sang this song before. I had to listen to it.
I could not tell earlier because it was beautiful. Anyway,
the winner takes it all. The loser standing small beside the victory. That's her destiny.
Oh, that was a lot of gusto.
I am wasted in recruitment. Wasted.
Every note was bang on.
Bang on. Nailed it.
I enjoyed it. I hope everybody else's ears enjoyed that as well, as much as I enjoyed it.
Move over, Holly Ellison from The Voice.
Move over.
I'm going to be the entertainment for next year's Freshies.
Oh, it's so excellent. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. But before we do, it's my favourite part of the podcast and everyone else's favourite. And I'll do it quickly. As I say, this is episode 205 of a Fresh Perspective on Business podcast. But Laura, can you share with me and everyone listening and watching around planet Earth today, what is that in Spanish, please?
Episodio número 205.
Oh, 205.
205.
I'm quite good at the Italian numbers, but just not anything. Spanish numbers, but not anything else.
Wow, what is it in Italian?
I don't know. I don't know. Let's get into it because we chat a lot on this podcast, but we want to get in. No, we don't.
Shocking.
I did one with Vicky a couple of weeks ago. I'm not going to tell you how long it was, but it was over 45 minutes. I'm just going to have some of my nutritious.
What is that?
It's an electrolyte drink. I try to have 2 a day now.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
I have one in the morning, but mine's pink.
This is lemon and lime.
Oh.
It's one of my favourite flavours. It's good to be hydrated, ladies and gentlemen. Hence, I have 2 of these tablets.
Hydration is the key to success in life,
in
sport.
And muscle is the currency of health.
And if you're not hydrated, you get a headache.
Yeah.
You're cranky. You just don't feel good. You're not energized. And therefore, you're rubbish at work. You're shit at running.
Wow.
And you won't live as long.
some hints. We pride ourselves on hints and life tips, guys.
Drink water.
Drink water. You can have that for free. You can have that for free.
Oh my God. There's only one place you need to come for your life hacks, and that is a Fresh Perspective on Business podcast.
Get hydrated, drink water, or you'll be shit at running. Simple.
Basic, simple advice.
Simple. I think Mo Farah's got that on a t-shirt somewhere as well. So, excellent. The Freshies started in a little gin distillery in Brindle, and then we went to the TPs in Chorley, which was great. And then we went to Rivington Barn, but even that was too small. And then we went to the cathedral, at Blackburn Cathedral. So we've gone from something small to something massive in a short space of time. And we couldn't do that with all our fantastic support network of sponsors and judges and people that help us. So so thank you. We raised £20,107 this year, which is actually wicked.
£20,187.
Right.
Someone siphoned off a little bit of money and took it directly to one of our charities. So it still went to where it was intended, but was missed out of the final tally.
Wow, £80. That'll go a long way.
It will.
Anyway, we've already booked for next year.
Buy you a ticket for next year's Freshies.
Buy her a ticket. We've already booked for next year. Not in the cathedral. We're going back to the barn. That is what we're doing. We're going back to the barn.
Because people thought that we had a lot more people at the cathedral. So the first year we had 100 people in the distillery. Second year we had 165 in the TPs. Yeah. At the barn we had 300.
324.
And then it was 324 at the cathedral.
Very similar.
So because more people didn't come. More people cried in sick this year than last year. Cried off sick. So it was probably a really similar amount, but it felt a lot bigger. But I think it's because it was in a grand venue.
Yeah, and there's got to be a trade-off, hasn't there? There's a more extensive bar set up at the barn. That's what they're set up to do that. The food is of a higher standard because they're set up to do it. It's what they do. But it's not a cathedral.
No, we tried something different this year.
It's like a trade-off. Oh, no. Someone ringing you on your watch?
I need to check that it's not stopped recording.
Stopped or started?
Stopped the recording on my phone because someone's tried to ring me.
Did they? What do you want to do?
Put it on airplane mode. I forgot. Hang on a sec.
So these are the challenges that we have in the podcast booth with Laura's phone. Sometimes she forgets to put her phone on airplane mode. But yeah, that was a trade-off that we thought about. Do we want to go back to Blackburn Cathedral or do we want to go back to the barn? Because, of course, the acoustics in a thick cathedral, it's set up to be a house of God, high ceilings. So when you're singing and you're when you the choir are giving it the beans, the sound is absolutely fantastic. Is that your alarm for getting? Is that your alarm for getting?
No idea. My phone has never done that before.
All right. So we're going back to the barn because the acoustics are a lot better, and they've actually got pouring beer, and they've got lots of shorts and champagne, and stuff isn't getting served out of cans or bottles or stuff like that, which is fine. So yeah, that's what we're doing.
Tony,
so
you're doing a great job.
Thank you. So it's booked in for the 20th of June. We've already got another, I don't know who this is, but we've already got another headline sponsor and other sponsors at the moment. And we've also got 12 judges.
Okay,
but
back.
we do need
Sorry
more.
About that.
We do need more judges. Hi.
You did well.
Thank you.
I don't know what was going on, but I've had to set the video going again.
Okay.
And put it on airplane mode.
All right. We
have the same headline sponsor as last year.
Yes.
This year, Forest Group.
I went to, his name is Andrew.
Razor.
I went to school with him.
He said.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they want to do it again.
Oh, and they must. They're lovely people.
We've already got our headline sponsor sorted. So if you wanted to be a headline sponsor, sorry, you weren't quick enough.
They do commercial refrigeration and air conditioning and the best in the second best town on planet Earth, which is Blackburn.
Yeah.
Great.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's
and
where I was
amazing,
born.
lovely people.
Great people.
Do a lot for charity in the local community. It's amazing to have them on board, hopefully for the long term.
Yes.
And we already have one category sponsor.
Great.
12 judges.
I know, I just said that's 12 judges. That's excellent, isn't it?
Yeah.
Already. Should I be a judge? Do you think I'm probably not allowed?
No, I feel like it's a conflict, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Some people have said that if they thought that if they sponsored a category, they would have won. I'm like,
won what?
Won the award they were in.
I don't think it works like that, does it?
No, it doesn't. But it's because some people who did win were a sponsor of another category.
Oh, okay.
But they're like, maybe you shouldn't allow your finalists to be sponsors. I'm like, oh, no, because only one person out of 324 seems to have an issue with that. So maybe I won't change it.
All right, okay. We were going to do a name check on the sponsors, weren't we? I keep breaking my pen. We were going to do a name check on the sponsors. If you go to the next slide on your... way!
There we go!
We had some spectacular category sponsors of stuff, like the flower wall. I'm doing it off the top of my head. The flower wall, the drinks reception, the entertainment, the DJ.
Yeah, so Ryall's Property Law.
Yes.
They were our welcome drink sponsor.
And we were very happy of those welcome drinks, weren't we?
They were very welcoming.
They were very welcoming.
Grassroots HR were the entertainment sponsor. Very, very important.
Thank you, Grassroots HR.
Farley Solicitors were our decoration sponsor. So they were responsible for the flower wall, all the balloons and the decoration.
Oh, great.
Lestari Project Services, they sponsored the music. Also very important. Singer, DJ equipment.
Hello.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is our... talented DJ.
Very much so, and main host.
Blue Rock IT, they were our photography sponsor.
Oh, lovely.
Active Lancashire sponsored the trophies.
Sarah Walker, that, isn't it?
Sarah Walker, yes.
Not called Sarah Walker anymore.
Bennett.
Excuse me. Yeah, congratulations to those guys.
Got married in Ibiza.
Yeah, I'm not on social media anymore, so I didn't see any of that. But yeah, she got married in
She
Ibiza.
looked lovely.
Yeah, nice people. Shout out Duncan.
Great runners.
Great runners.
They obviously hydrate.
They do. They do.
Well done, guys.
They
and
do.
then last but not least, Darren Brand. He was our magician.
Yeah, we got a magician as well.
He donated his time for free.
Oh, he did.
Which
He
I
was
thought was lovely.
all night. He was there.
Yeah.
He did a great job as well. How did it? It doesn't matter. I was gonna no. How does it work? I know it's magic, but it's crazy, isn't it?
It's crazy.
Anyway, so thank you to all these people at Forest Group, based in Blackburn, the motherland, top people, top business, top fridges.
I think, yeah, they are. Top fridges. Oh my God, the businesses they work with is amazing. So if you need something cooling, speak to them.
That is a great advert. If you need something cooling,
Speak to us.
speak to Forest.
Yeah. If we've got time later on, we can name check the rest of the sponsors.
We will have
may have
time.
to put them on a different podcast because there's quite a lot.
All right.
We could maybe do category sponsors on this episode, and the next episode we could do tables and judges. There's a lot of people, you see.
All right. Let's continue.
Yeah.
Guys, do you actually do some pre-production sometimes on the podcast? No, we just make it up as we go along. That's what we do.
Fly by the seat of our pants.
And that's what people like. That is what people like, and that's what we like. So it's all, this is all about feedback.
Yeah, we didn't want to just talk about the Freshies, just in case you're not interested, you didn't come, and you're never going to.
No,
you
you
might find it
should.
really boring, but it's not boring.
There's loads of great awards evenings in Lancashire and the Northwest. There are brilliant ones, but they're not. But ours are just really, really different and out there, just very fresh, and it's really good. So come.
It is more like a wedding night do than a black tie
It's a party.
3-course dinner. So don't expect a 3-course meal like some people
No,
did.
you mustn't.
Even though I told them it was informal food, a pizza and burgers and fish and chips. People are like, well, we didn't get a 3-course meal. I'm like, well, I never said you would get one.
No, you wouldn't.
Someone said to me they usually go to another event, another award ceremony that's fancy. And the epicenter of all awards is somewhere in Blackpool.
Yeah.
And she said, we only spent £200 less to come to the Freshies to take 10 people here
Right.
as opposed to 10 people there. I'm like, well, last time I checked, because I'm going to those awards, they were £180 a ticket.
They are, yeah, I'm
So
coming.
well, how much were yours? I'm like, 80. She said, oh, maybe I've miscalculated. Because she said, well, it's a similar price and you get a 3-course meal at these other awards. I'm like, right, but that's not...
You know when they say 3-course meal, they're not a 3-course meal for a gentleman of my size, are they?
No.
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 They're arguably a starter, a bigger starter, and a pudding from Aldi. That's what they are.
More like a snack.
Yeah. It's a snack box.
And if you can't have dairy or gluten, you usually just get some lettuce.
Yeah, and cucumber
That's
perhaps.
my starter.
Yeah, that's
and then
it.
I got a steak. did get a steak at the Red Rose, which I was impressed at.
And what did we get at Beaver's?
Don't remember.
No.
Chicken, probably.
It was too hot on that balcony, that's
Yeah.
why. Anyway.
So feedback. Tony, why is feedback important?
feedback to me is important, certainly in business, because we want to know how we're doing, don't we?
Yeah.
As an organisation, if we're delivering a product or a service, if we're doing it right or doing it wrong, we really need to know, because we're doing it right, we'll continue on that path. If we're doing it wrong, there needs to be a level of course correction, and we need to make some changes. So, and even when we onboard clients right at the beginning, there needs to be checkpoints along that customer experience to make sure that we're doing what we say we should be doing, and we're delivering the product and or service that we said you would. We are really hot on customer experience. So, I have a phrase, and right or wrong,
You have lots of phrases.
I do, but I like that. I was getting up and down a lot in this podcast. All feedback is good feedback. I absolutely believe. I
agree.
I'm a firm believer in that, because if we don't get any feedback, how do we know if we're doing well or not? Like if you go to a restaurant and you have a really good experience, and the food is good, and the drinks are served well, and you have a good experience, the waiters are great, and the ambience is good, I absolutely tell them every time, because there's a lot of people who maybe aren't as extrovert as me and won't tell them. They'll go, "Oh, that was really, really good," and they'll just leave again. Or if something's really, really bad, if your steak is overcooked, or not that I have steak all the time, but if your chips are rubbish, or your food took too long, or I always tell them.
Same.
Just because
they might not give a crap, but they also may.
As a small business, you would want to improve your customer experience, and you would want to hear the feedback if you're falling below where your standards should be. And I'm a really firm believer in that. Now, there is a way that you can deliver some feedback with kindness and love and empathy and just being considerate if the organisation is busy, or it's Father's Day, I don't know, whatever. But all feedback is good feedback.
What are the different types of feedback, would you say? So there's positive.
Yeah.
And negative.
Or
would you say constructive? Is that negative? Is that just a nicer way of saying negative feedback, or is all negative feedback constructive? Because I don't think it is.
What a great question. I've never thought about that.
Yeah. Well, when I started thinking about the topic.
Constructive.
Because constructive feedback to me is telling me something's not been quite right, but it's helpful because something can be done about it. Or giving me the feedback, so this was what happened, but if you did it this way, then you might get a better outcome.
Constructive is proposing a solution, perhaps.
Or where a solution could be achieved. Whereas
positive is you're great, negative is you're not great.
But then, not giving any context
why.
around it. Or it's something that can't be changed.
Yes.
Because if something can't be changed about it, you just don't like it. Is it feedback, or are you just passing on your opinion?
Cool. These are the cutting edge questions, ladies and gentlemen, that I was not expecting on this podcast. I'm going to be straight with you. Hey, woo-wah.
Otherwise, it's just complaining, isn't it?
Yeah, but do you not think that's all about the delivery, though?
Potentially.
It's all about the delivery. It's all about the words that you use and the language and your tone of voice, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose it's why are you giving the feedback? Are you trying to be helpful, or you're in a bad mood and you're pissed off and you just want to complain? Like, those are the two forms of giving the constructive or negative feedback, isn't it?
Yeah. I think in a previous life I would have complained, but now I'm a bit more mature. Believe it or not, I'm a bit more mature and a bit more refined as a gentleman. And you would want to give some constructive feedback in a way that could help that organisation, perhaps. That absolutely would be.
Because if you are, say, in a food establishment, following your example, if it was horrendous, you might not go back. But if you're I actually quite like elements, but if this was better, I definitely would come back. So then you're giving them that information. You're almost giving them a chance, because we all fail and we all make mistakes and we all don't get it right sometimes.
No, absolutely.
But if without the feedback, you wouldn't know. You may know, but you might not know everything. So you're giving people that opportunity to fix the mistake, fix the error, and then hopefully you would go to that food establishment again and give them another chance and see if they've taken on board your feedback. And if they haven't, then maybe don't go again. But if they have, I think it says a lot about the kind of people that they are, and I suppose how people receive feedback is important.
Because people would want to hear feedback about how they've received the product or service, wouldn't they? I mean, they absolutely would. Like, for example, if we sent a pack of 12 bottles of beer out in the post to someone and they arrive smashed, number one, you definitely hear about it, and number two, you want to remedy the process.
How did this happen?
How did it happen? There needs to be some course correction. And look at the breakdown of steps prior to that customer receiving that product. Is it the courier we're using? Is the box is the box crap? Is the glass? You know what I mean? And just work it backwards. But you would want to add anyway. I would want to hear, absolutely. I enjoy it.
I want feedback, but what I'd like and what I'd really appreciate is that if everything. So any difficult conversation you have at work, if people are not performing, if you need to dismiss someone, or if someone's resigning, or if it's constructive or negative feedback, I think any situation should always be dealt with kindness, respect and consideration for another human being. And so if you're delivering negative feedback but it's dealt with kindness, I think that is totally fine. It's when it's not dealt with kindness, almost dealt with meanness, and someone delivering it in a cruel, upsetting, unsettling way.
Aggressive, like passive aggressive.
I don't think. No, I really don't like that. And then I don't think the feedback can be taken on in the spirit of which it's meant.
No,
because it doesn't come across that it's meant in a constructive way. That is negative feedback, and it's almost like it's not helpful or supportive. They're just having a bitch and a moan.
No,
I have actually fed back to Amazon. I like saying fed back instead of complained. Fed back to Amazon because it just kept leaving my parcels outside. And in winter, in a cardboard box. So printer paper, I ordered printer paper, it got wet.
It will do.
Yeah, and then like birthday cards, if not in a plastic cellophane wrapping. So for a while, it was fine. And now it's gone back to them leaving them outside. And another birthday card is now ruined. So I'm not sure Amazon really take it on board, which is sad.
Will they care?
Probably not. I don't think the drivers care.
No.
And I think that's the issue. It's not necessarily Amazon, but I suppose Amazon are not hiring. I've gone off on a massive tangent. But I knew, there's always a way I have to bring it back to recruitment. But Amazon are not hiring the right drivers. They don't care.
No, and it's just they're focusing on the wrong things, aren't they?
So Amazon
because you're sending that product back or complaining about that product, which means it's taking extra resource internally at Amazon to manage your query or your the way
not doing anything about
you
it.
Complain. They'll have to resend the products out.
And most of the time, it's not Amazon's product; it's some other small business that's selling it on their platform.
Indeed.
And it's their drivers delivering it and giving the other people a bad name. Anyway, I don't know where I went with that, but
we're just talking about feedback, aren't we?
Yeah.
That's the theme of the podcast, and that is an example of a huge organisation compared to Italian Cottage in Chorley, where you would feedback to the chef or the of employing 10 people, or feedback to someone at Fresh. How do you have some feedback on your from your clients?
Yeah, so I check in with them all, my clients, just to see how they're finding the recruitment project
process,
as it's happening.
Yes.
So that in a live situation, if there's something that they're not happy with and they've not told anybody, we can get the information, fix it. And then at the end of the process, Vicky has what we call a debrief call with the client, where we talk through what we did, what we achieved, things that went well, things that didn't go well, and we ask for their feedback.
Excellent.
So,
I'll talk into the microphone. Excellent. It was nice listening to you there. So how would you, if you got a point of contention that a client wasn't happy with a certain element of that customer experience, how would you make an improvement to your process, or would you, or you know what I mean?
It depends really what the issue is. So we had a customer recently that I asked for feedback, and he said he wasn't happy because the candidates were late to their interviews. They weren't dressed appropriately in his mind for an interview, and when people who were on time were still setting up their equipment. So I fully get what he's saying. Like, that is annoying, but is it in our control?
You've prepped the candidates, I dare say.
And I shouldn't need to say, make sure you be on time for your interview. Make sure you dress well. Make sure everything's set up before the interview. And I feel like I shouldn't prep candidates to within an inch of their life because it's not a true reflection of who they are on an interview, though.
But the team do that because I've heard them making those calls into the candidates when I'm in the office prior. Have you thought of some questions? Are you all right with the address, to get there, all that sort of stuff? And I think that's a good part of the service, right?
Okay, because I didn't want clients to think that we're prepping candidates so it's not a true reflection of that person. But the things that he's saying he has an issue with have nothing to do with their ability to do the job. His feedback is someone looked like they had crumbs on their T-shirt through a Teams call. I'm like, okay.
All right. Okay.
I
can't control that. I'm not at their house.
And they were late. I'm like, I can't say anything because I'm late to most things. And it's not because I don't care. But I would try and let the people know if I am running significantly late to a meeting, for example.
Of course.
But his feedback doesn't have anything. So then we are prepping the candidates to just give them the opportunity. Whether they take on board our feedback or not, that's up to them. But then really, if they turn up on time and they've not got crumbs on the T-shirt, he's more than likely going to actually listen to what it is they can do for him and then hopefully make an offer to them.
Would you class that as an anomaly across your client base?
Yes. It's just one that's fresh in my mind. So if there are things that we can change, when people give us feedback on things, we'll absolutely make changes to process so that we can improve it, not just for that customer, but everybody.
Good thing.
But when it's delivered, when people get aggy and aggressive and they use the word disappointed, it gets my back up and I don't want to listen to it. But if they're like, can I just give you some feedback? And then they say, this guy delivered it in a really nice way. And I'm like, do you know what? I understand where you're coming from. Thank you so much for giving the feedback. Let me speak to the team and we'll book a call in next week and we'll run through some ideas on what we can do to improve the process.
Great.
But when people are like, I've paid all this money and I'm disappointed, I've got no one. I mean, they've had people, they just decided to move the interviews. And then they slag you off and they're rude to you. And I'm like, I'm not quite as receptive to this feedback.
No, it's the way it's delivered.
It's the way it's delivered.
And we got some feedback from the Freshies, didn't we? And stuff.
Oh, we did.
But the majority of it was the majority of it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, was really, really super positive. It's just Laura likes to focus on the 4 pieces of information that maybe
more than 4.
It's more than 4, 5.
It's because we've never had it before. I think different people came this year, and obviously we tried. We stretched, didn't we? We tried to leap. We moved out of the comfort zone, and some things worked, and some things didn't. And so the things that didn't, people fed back about.
They did feedback and they did pick up on it.
Not always in a kind way. That's what's bothered me.
I think sometimes the acoustics in a house of God are very, very hit and miss. But believe it or not, we did a 30-minute sound check at 3:30 in the afternoon and everything was popping. It was brilliant. But when you've got 320 people in a room and there's a little bit of a murmur of chatter and people are walking around with drinks and there's some other stuff going on at the bar and, there's just activity, it just distorts the sound in the room because of the high ceilings and the acoustics. And that was quite a challenge, but again, it was nothing that we could control. I tried to stop people talking twice, but people are there to have a good time.
They're having their own night, aren't they?
And that's fine, isn't it? And that's fine. And again, the bar didn't have any control over the bar whatsoever because we're in a cathedral and we're renting the space or the food. So, I mean, I had control over the music and my voice. And I think everyone was happy about that. And I am happy about that too. We could control the singer. She was brilliant. Got great feedback. We that's about it really. Control the decoration of the event and the format of the event. And that's it. We did our best.
We did do our best. And I think what you forget, you think acoustically, you think, wow, a cathedral would be mega. And it was mega for many reasons. But what you forget is that when in a church on any normal day, when the reverend or the vicar, whoever stands at the front, so sorry, I'm not a churchgoer. As you can tell, when they're talking at the front, nobody else is talking.
They silent, baby.
When they're playing the music, everybody's singing the same song.
I think they call them hymns. When they're playing the music.
The organ. It's music.
Yeah.
You sing a hymn and you play an organ.
That's it. Amen.
But we're not factored in, because why would we? We've never had an event in a cathedral. Factor in the reverb of noise around a cathedral. That's what it's supposed to do. So when we're talking, and only us, it was amazing. Fine. But when everybody else is talking, it's crazy.
It wasn't like everyone. It was just a little bit of it's that little bit of a like 15%, 10% murmur, right? But that murmur reverberates up and down 80 feet and then back down 80 feet. Oh, it was just really challenging, and that's one of the main reasons we've gone back to the barn. It's just because you can control the sound.
Control more variables. Like someone said, maybe you should get a professional sound engineer in next time.
Spent £5,000 on audio-visual stuff. $5,000. Perhaps you'll get a professional in. Right? Hey, shout out Chris Beasley.
We spent £1,000 on it last year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, right, okay. I'm like, I was like, slightly patronising, but thank you. But we did have a whole team of technical, lighting and sound engineers. You just couldn't see them because they were off stage.
There was 11 people there, right, setting up the audio-visual stuff at 2 o'clock when I got there.
We had 2 vans full of equipment. So
incredible.
Yeah. So anyway, we had an amazing time, and we did learn a lot. Some feedback was useful. Some feedback, not so much. Some feedback was delivered in a really positive, kind way, even though it was constructive.
It was.
And we did get heaps and heaps and heaps of positive feedback, which is absolutely delightful.
But at the end of the day, we had a party in a cathedral, right?
Yeah, and we raised over 20 grand for charity and celebrated 18 award winners.
So, I mean, I can take that to the grave that I DJ'd in a cathedral. There's not many people on planet Earth can say that.
No.
And there's so many. I'm from.
Some also say that God is a DJ.
They do. They do. That is.
Was that faithless?
Well, thank you. That's what I was reaching for. That was my eyes were reaching for that word, and the amount of incredible feedback that we got on the night from people that had never been in Blackburn Cathedral before. I've been in there a lot because I used to go to school around there and we used to do a lot of stuff in there. And I've been a lot and I know what it's like. But some people, Ben Duck, shout out Ben Duck for the Green Heart.
Oh, they won!
This is amazing. This is incredible. Wow, what a place. And I bet there was dozens and dozens of people who were wowed by the venue. And that's the trade-off, isn't it? Back to the Freshies. That's the trade-off. Sexy cathedral, massive wow factor, shit acoustics. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
We know now.
We do know now. So 2025 is going to be mega because we're still going to spend $5,000 on audio, visual and sound. It's going to be insane.
Shout out Chris Beasley. Another $5,000 coming your way.
Like last time we had it at the van, we had the stage in the middle, so the sound wasn't amazing. So again, we're going to take that feedback on board and put the stage at one end.
We are.
Project towards the bar.
We're going to have fire cannons.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be well good, and it will be good because people did take time to give feedback. But some of the feedback was unkind, some of it was unnecessary, some of it just didn't make sense. But most of it was positive, and the ones that were constructive were helpful.
Speaking of Freshies, we're having a rap party, aren't we?
Oh my goodness, we are next.
Is it rap?
The 1st of August.
As in chicken wrap, or rap as in M&M wrap?
No, like wrapping paper.
Wrapping paper.
It's chicken wrap.
Which is chicken wrap. Or you can put any other sort of filling in your wrap if you want. Salad.
You mean right? Okay, like a tortilla.
Yeah.
Right, got you. I'm like chicken wrap. Is that like what? Is that not cling film?
That makes even less sense. What I was saying.
No,
cling film.
I always make more sense than you.
You're thinking of chicken foil.
Just tin foil.
We're having a tinfoil party on the 1st of August, ladies and gents. It is. Why are you writing that down?
Put it in the schedule.
We are having a rap party on the 1st of August, which is Thursday at 1842, which is in Preston in Lancashire.
Who never replies to email.
I don't even know. Do you know what? I don't even know if it's going ahead. I'm going to be straight with you.
She's like, you need to pay in full before the event. I'm like, right, okay. So this is on Monday. I'm like, can we come in next Monday? I can pay you. Can I come in and sort it out? No reply. I emailed her yesterday.
Has she replied?
No.
This event is on Thursday, right?
She has confirmed in an email that the day is ours, but we haven't planned it yet. Hopefully no one's listening.
I've planned a quiz.
Who's coming? There's a singer coming. You're quizzing.
I'm quizzing.
Miranda's singing. The fresh team. People are coming. There's food. There's pizza and fries. It'll be fine. But this lady at 1842 is hard work to deal with. I'm sure she's lovely.
Is that the feedback? It's just a little bit.
I'm sure she's lovely, but she needs to have a bit of an internal SLA on how long it is before she replies to email, if at all. So that people feel confident that when they're having imagine if I was having my wedding there, and she didn't reply to confirm the date or anything. I'm like, I don't know what's happening. So I know it's only a small event in comparison to some of the events that they do run, but I feel like she should be a bit more proactive.
There's still 60 people coming, 70 people coming.
I know.
So,
anyway,
that's what we're doing. 1842. If you're coming, I'm sure it'll still be on. We'll find out. We'll all find out together, won't we? That'll be nice.
I'm just looking at the schedule as well, but we've got a whole page on why feedback is important. But just to summarise,
please,
feedback is important because it's the only way we can learn and grow and be better.
Yeah.
And mostly that comes from constructive feedback rather than positive.
Constructive feedback. Yeah, absolutely. I'm a massive... All feedback is good feedback.
And as long as it's delivered with kindness.
Yeah, and love and empathy and from the heart.
And then we're all winners and we're all taking it all.
The winner takes it all.
Winners take it all.
ABBA. I thought it was Bonnie Tyler initially, didn't I?
Let's run through. Oh, do we need to say our winners, or shall we do category sponsors?
Yeah, whatever you want.
Whenever
Fabulous
you want.
Table sponsors.
Wait, hang on, wait.
One moment. This is very visual, isn't it?
Yeah, would you want to do winners or sponsors?
Sponsors.
Sponsors.
Go back one. Amazing category sponsors. Convene IT. What do they do?
They do IT support.
QPA, which is
QTPA.
QTPA. Good job, Laura's here, which is Quality Time PA Services.
Yeah.
Harrison Drury Solicitors. They make it possible.
They do make it possible. And do you know what? They're really nice people as well. I mean, everybody who sponsors is.
Win Business. What's their tagline? Can't see it on there, but I'm sure it's brilliant.
Small.
Mix UK Limited.
Yeah.
DJs?
No, concrete.
Sure. Tailory.
Business coaching.
Oh, sure. Chorley Council, best council on planet Earth. Of course.
What about Blackburn Council?
I don't know anyone at Blackburn Council.
Right, okay.
Jacqueline's Chocolate. She came in the other day, by the way.
And what she did as well, not only did she sponsor a category, but she made us chocolates.
Oh.
Alcoholic chocolates that we put on all the tables for all 324 guests at the Freshies. Free of charge.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
She is amazing.
Some of them were all right. Some of them were great.
I could only really have one.
Some of them were all right.
Okay.
Because they're different. So there's gin and all sorts. I'm not a liqueur chocolate kind of gentleman.
Okay.
I'm a dairy milk man. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm
traditional.
They're lost on me, all these posh ingredients, I'll be honest.
Right, okay.
Yab. Thank you. Enzo Creative Arts, CIC. What do they do?
So Sarah is an artist.
Dearden.
Sarah Dearden.
So seen her on LinkedIn.
She paints, but she also runs groups where she teaches children and other people to paint. She helps people overcome anxiety and depression through mindfulness with painting.
Crikey! Are you on their board or something? That was delivered very, very well.
I know about that because Dave Scholes told me.
Well, thank you, Dave. Hello, Dave. I know you listen. Dave, send me a text when I know you listen to 205. Cover My Bubble.
Insurance.
Yeah, they do. That is Chris and Emma. Chris I used to play football with Chris back in the day. Very strong centre half. Very good centre half is Chris. He was. Flourish Finance. That is run by Stacey
Batterham.
She is the second best singer in Lancashire behind Laura Lane.
Who has just got engaged.
Oh, no way!
Congratulations, Stacey.
I hope it's not a surprise. Complete
online digital marketing.
Birchman.
SAP consultancy.
SAP. Scope Fire Security.
What it says on the tin.
I think they're based in Darwin. No. Yeah, Burnley.
Oh, yeah. Don't swear at him. He is proud to be Burnley.
I sat with him at the Red Rose Awards when Dave won his award, maybe 2022. Great table horse. What's his name?
Scott Chapman.
Yes, it is Scott Chapman. Hello, Scott. I keep waving to the camera thinking you're watching. You're probably not. I hope you are.
May do one day.
Unique ladies.
Female-only networking groups.
Beautiful. RJD Associates. I'm looking at their logo, and I think they are some kind of quantity surveyors.
Yes.
Yes?
Like building design.
Yes. All right, good. Thank you to our amazing sponsors. Wonderful. What do you want to do now?
I don't know. I feel like we should finish.
We are going to finish.
Yeah.
If you've got any feedback about this podcast, whether it be positive or constructive, please send Vicky Taylor a message on LinkedIn. She would love to receive you. In fact, please do send Vicky Taylor a message on LinkedIn.
Oh, actually. So these are our category sponsors. You've heard them if you're listening. You've seen them if you're watching on YouTube.
Yes.
So they, for the princely sum of £350, they sponsored a category.
Whoa.
Their logo is engraved on the trophy. We announced them on the night as the category sponsor for that category.
Yes.
We've written blog articles about them. They've been tagged in
Yes.
social media posts. We've name-checked them here on the podcast. These are all the lovely things you could get if you wanted to be a category sponsor. So if you do, message Vicky Taylor on LinkedIn with the word Freshies.
Yes, do that. Great idea. And we will tell her to expect your message. Wonderful. I don't think I've got anything to sign.
Me neither. If you want to know who our winners are, they're on our website, but also we'll explain the winners next week's podcast.
We'll name check next week.
And we'll talk about the rest of our sponsors because they deserve it.
Thank you very much. Thanks for washing. Washing? Thanks for
washing.
You. Indeed, thanks for washing.
Make sure you wrap your chicken in tin foil and have a good week.